Hey guys, how are you doing? Baidu has introduced ERNIE 5.1, and the main highlight here is its efficiency. According to the company, the model uses only about 6% of the pre-training cost of other models of similar scale, greatly reducing the number of parameters. But even so, it still promises competitive performance in agents, spreadsheets, reasoning, creative writing, and deep search. It seems that the trend now is not just to create bigger models, but also to present cheaper, more efficient, and more powerful models. And the open source world is perfect for that. But first, you already know, subscribe to the channel. If you're already subscribed, awesome. But don't forget to leave a like, because otherwise YouTube won't promote it. That makes our work here harder. Now, if you want to help even more, just click the join button. Deal? So, let's get to the video. Well guys, today I want to talk to you about the release of ERNIE 5.1. Listen up, ERNIE 5.1 has just been released. Built on the pre-training foundation of ERNIE 5.0, our latest foundational model improves search, reasoning, knowledge, creative writing, and agentive capabilities, while using only about 6% of the pre-training cost of comparable models. They also showed us the benchmarks, and this comparison is made with DeepSeek V4 Pro, Claude Opus 4.6, and Gemini 3.1 Pro. As we can see, ERNIE 5.1 stays about average compared to the models mentioned here. So, in the AM26, it scored 99.6 points ahead of DeepSeek, Claude Opus 4.6, and just a little behind Gemini 3.1 Pro. In the T3 bench, it was behind, only behind Claude Opus 4.6, which scored 72.4, and it got 67.9 here. But here in deep research, it lost to everyone. We're talking here about the agentic benchmarks. When we come here to knowledge and reasoning, in AM 2.6, it also fell behind everyone, but only by a small margin. Here in GPQA, it only lost to Gemini 3.1 Pro. So, as you can see here, it's an intermediate model. Also because the comparison here is made with Claude Opus 4.6 and not with 4.7. And it's also not taking into account the new ChatGPT. They're also saying that here in the post. ERNIE 5.1 ranked 4th globally in Arena AI. This ranking reflects the retrieval and synthesis of multiple, more robust sources, helping to generate more consistent and reliable answers. For content generation, AI agents, enterprise knowledge management, and agent applications. So, it ranked behind Claude Opus 4.6, GPT 5.5 Search, and Claude Opus 4.7, and it appears here in 4th place, ahead of Claude Sonnet 4.6, Gemini 3.1 Pro, GPT 5.2, and so on. Then they explain here how we got there. The broader capability update of ERNIE 5.1 comes from key technologies, including multidimensional elastic pre-training, first introduced with ERNIE 5.0. This approach allows a single training process to produce models at different scales, helping ERNIE 5.1 inherit knowledge from ERNIE 5.0 while becoming much more streamlined. Total parameters compressed to about 1/3. Active parameters compressed to half. Pre-training computational cost reduced to about 6% of comparable models. So, it's cheaper, and they promise similar efficiency here, even with fewer parameters. Now, what about the API price? Look at what they're saying. The API is currently in closed beta. You can join our Discord and join the waitlist to be able to test it for free. So for now it's still not available, of course, at the time I'm recording this video. They haven't released it yet. It's in closed testing, but it should be available soon. The tendency is that it will have the same price as ERNIE 5.0. Well, and how do you access it? It's very simple. Just click the link that will be down here in the description of this video, and you can use it without having to pay anything. And here on the platform, there are some interesting things. We have the chat here. You just need to select the model you want to use. Here in the selector, there are 3 options. ERNIE 5.1 Instant, which is for faster responses, ERNIE 5.1 Thinking for more elaborate answers, and Call Buddy, which is a coding agent. So, you can choose between these 3 options here. Another thing, besides the regular chat, where you have the prompt field and type your command, there are 4 other options. In writing, we have some templates here that you can choose and adapt according to your content. So, you can select any of these and then just fill in the blanks with your content. The other option that's available is this one here, painting. So, here we find some pre-programmed agents to work with images. You can, for example, imitate, style, change the background, modify anything in your image, erase an element, and all these other templates that are available here. It's cool because you can work in a separate section here on the platform, just with images. The other option is this one, Earn Agent. At the moment I'm recording this video, you can make up to 3 requests for it to work in agent mode. And finally, there's the reading option here. So here, for example, you can upload a PDF file and ask it to summarize, translate, turn it into bullet points, and so on. So, let's go. I'll show you now what I was able to create with this new model. But first, pay attention to this tip. The hashtag Excel week is coming. A 4-day event where, throughout the classes, complete projects will be developed to show you how to use Excel professionally and stand out in the job market. Today, mastering Excel is no longer just a complementary skill and has practically become a requirement in many companies, regardless of the field. And the most interesting thing is that the tool can be used for everything from simple organization tasks to data analysis, automations, and creating professional reports. This Excel week is completely free and has no prerequisites because all the content will be taught step by step in a practical, easy to follow way, allowing even those who have never worked with spreadsheets to follow along without difficulty. During the event, participants will learn everything from fundamental formulas and tools to more advanced topics such as data analysis, creating professional dashboards, and even integrating artificial intelligence into the workflow in Excel. So, if you really want to learn Excel, become more productive, and use it to grow professionally, the next edition of Hashtags Excel Week will take place from May 18th to 21st, and anyone can participate for free. Just access the link in the description or scan the QR code that's showing up here to secure your spot. So, hurry up and take advantage of it. Now back to it. Well, let's start here with this prompt. Create a modern, responsive, and sophisticated web page for a high-end real estate agency called Casa Chique. I put this very complete prompt here, which I created over on ChatGPT, and this was the result it gave me, which I found quite satisfactory. Look, I have the menus here, all functional, with images generated by artificial intelligence. Isn't that interesting? And this was done with just a single prompt without making any kind of changes. And it gave me this result here, which I thought was amazing. Notice that it put a faded background image here. I also have the little arrow animation here, indicating that I should scroll down the page. And then there's this animation here when I hover over the images. Speaking of code, if you want to view it, just click here on code. Then we have access here to all the code that was used, and you can copy it and take it to another tool. I also have the light mode here, in case you prefer it when viewing. And another option is this one here to export. So when I click, it will already create a file for me here, and I can download it to my computer. So it's nice because everything is available within the same system. In this other example here, I used the prompt that was being suggested right here inside ERNIE itself. I then asked it to simulate a virtual keyboard. See how it turned out. I have the keys here. I can increase the volume. And here in Wave, I switch to square. Just tooth. And triangle. Cool, right? Also just a single prompt. I used the 5.1 thinking mode here, and it gave me this result here. In this example, I used the paint mode, right? Which I just showed you now, which is for image generation. I asked it to create a hyper-realistic advertising poster of food for a sophisticated Mexican restaurant. This prompt here was also available within the platform, and this was the result it gave me. I thought it was cool because it managed to render the text in Portuguese. It added some very well-made images here, and it gave me this result here in about 2 minutes. In this other example here, I used the reading function. What did I do? I uploaded a document, a PDF file here. I asked it to interpret this document and then turn it into a web page. Check out the result. Notice that my prompt here is extremely simple. Turn this PDF into a web page. I didn't ask for anything else. And it gave me this result after interpreting and reading this PDF file that I uploaded. So, it worked perfectly, because it was able to render the text in Portuguese. And it also produced results which are very faithful to the document I asked it to use as a reference. So, it didn't hallucinate and gave me the result here in about 1 minute. Then, in this other example here, I used the web search function and I asked the following. Analyze the AI tools market. Identify the main competitors, price gaps, and trends. Next, generate a structured report on actionable insights, an entry strategy for marketing, go-to-market strategy, and finally, put everything on a web page. So, it did the coding here. It presented the result here for me. It brought a summary here for quick reading. And then, it delivered my web page here. Look how cool. AI Tools Market 2026. It brought a market overview here. Computing capacity. Competitive mapping. Risks and threats on actionable sites. So, this prompt was for it to go to the internet, collect the data, and organize everything into a report. And then, turn it into a web page. It managed to do it very satisfactorily without hallucinating and in less than 2 minutes. And of course, I also asked it to create a replica of the Flappy Bird game for me. Check out the graphics here. Look, there's the scoreboard up there. The graphics are really good. There are animations. I died again. So, you see, using the same prompt that I've used with other models, more advanced and more expensive, in other tests here on the channel, I got this result here, which in my opinion is one of the best so far. It had great graphics and followed the prompt well, it didn't hallucinate, and it delivered this game here, totally playable. With a scoreboard, animations, sound effects, and everything I requested, it passed with flying colors. In the final test, I then asked, create an amazing web page to introduce yourself. In other words, the ERNIE 5.1 thinking. And then, it gave me this result here. Take a look. Chain of thought. Made for everything. Built to think. This part here is very well rendered. When I hover the mouse over it, I get an animation. And notice that when I move the mouse around the page, I get this lighting animation. Look how cool it is. Scrolling down a bit. Números que falam, jornada. And starting in 2019, there's also animation here on the timeline. Start for free. So, it's really cool because once again, with just a single prompt, I got this result here, which, in my opinion, also turned out quite satisfactory. So guys, these were just a few tests that I showed here to you. Since it's an open source model, it's available for free for anyone who wants to try it out. So now I'll leave it to you. What did you think? Is it cool? Is it worth it? It can compete with other open source models, and even those more expensive closed source ones that we have on the market today. I liked it a lot. And you? So, did you like it? Is it reasonable? Can you trust it and use it in your daily life? Let me know in the comments, okay? I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Ghost and the moon is a dime.